Hi, this is day 2 of 10-3, all about circles. And our bell work today is just a quick review of what we did yesterday. If you were absent yesterday, you need to watch the video now and work the first page of 10-3, practice K. Today we'll be continuing with the back side of that, 10-3. We'll start with number 13 and then with number 19. So let's begin with our bell work. I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes to work problems 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's shrink that down a little bit there. Okay, and again, these are just review. Write an equation of a circle with the given center and radius. And then for problems 3 and 4, you're just going to write an equation for each translation. So you've got the circle, right 4 and down 2. The next one, left 2 and up 5. So 2.5 minutes. And you may begin that now. Remember, the formula was at x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. Got about just a minute left. Seconds. Okay, that concludes our bell work. Okay, so we're going to move on with our lesson with problem 4. So it says finding the center of a radius. So far we've been taking the center and the radius, and we've been taking the h and the k and the r and creating an equation. Now we're going to reverse the process where they're going to give us an equation, and we're going to figure out what is h, what is k, and what is r. So if we look at this, we know that this is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. Well, we know that h, because it's x minus h, we know that h is equal to 16. And we know that it's a k, y minus k squared, and we've got a positive 9. So what it must have been y minus negative 9 because it was y minus -9, which turns to y plus 9 squared. And if r squared is equal to 144, that means that r is equal to 12. And if you don't see that, just set them equal to each other and solve. Take the square root of each side, and you get that r is equal to 12. So now we've got our three things. So it says, what is the center and the radius? So we know that the center is HK, so our center is 16, comma, -9, and our radius is equal to 12. Okay, and there it is. And that's all there is to it. So next they're going to mix it up on us a little bit. And our next problem, it says we're doing the same thing, but now our equations are mixed up a little. And we've got x squared plus y squared plus 8x minus 10y equal 8. Well, we've got to get this sorted out. Right? So what our first step is, we want to set it up to complete the squares. And this is why we were completing the square at the beginning of yesterday. So you want to get your x's together, x squared plus 8x, there it is, plus y squared minus 10y equal 8. Okay, so that's all we've done. We just reorganized this. Okay. Our next step is to complete the square on each one of those. Okay, so remember, divided by 2 and square it. So 8 divided by 2, oops, I didn't mean to write a 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 4 squared is 16. So we're going to add 16, and if we do it to that side of the equal sign, we have to do it on this side of the equal sign. So add 16 to each side. And now complete the square on the y terms. So -10 divided by 2 is -5, and -5 squared is 25. So if we add 25 there, we've got to add 25 there. So now we've completed our squares and altered our equation to stay in balance, and there it is. Now we're just going to rewrite it and clean it up. So rewrite this as the square, x plus 4 squared, and this one's going to be y minus 5 squared. So there it is, there and there. And 16 plus 25 plus 8 is 49. So there it is, and now we want to rewrite it in standard form. So because what are we trying to do? We're trying to find the center and the radius. So we got to keep going here. So we know it's x minus -4 squared, so there it is, plus y minus 5 squared, nothing to change there, equal, and 49 is 7 squared. So now we can pluck out our h, which is -4, our k, which is a 5, and our r, which is 7. So HK is our center, so it's -4 and 5 for our center, and the radius is 7. So there's your answer. The center and the radius. And that's all there is to it. So that will give you everything you need to work 13, 14, 15, and 16. And you're watching a video now, so I want you to pause this and take about 5 minutes to work the next 4 problems, and then finish your video. And we've got one more problem set that's super easy, and then we'll turn this in. So don't take over 5 minutes. Actually, I'll set the timer for 5 minutes, so you guys will pace yourselves. Oops. If I can get it up there. Okay. So take 5 minutes and work problems 13, 14, 15, and 16, starting now. About 50 seconds left. $30. that is all the time we have for those four. And I'm sure everyone finished. Okay, so if not, if you have extra time at the end, we'll continue there. Okay, so the last thing we're going to look at, and this one's super easy, and then you'll have the remainder of the class hour to finish this, and then we're going to do a quick quiz. Okay, so problem 5 is all about graphing a circle using the center and the radius. So if they give us a center and we have the radius, we can easily graph it, right? So what we have to do is take these equations apart, right? So they've given us the standard equation here. And if we pull this apart, we know that's going to be an x minus -1. So we know that our h, which goes with our x, is equal to -1. And we know that our k is a +3. And we know 25 is r squared, so r must be equal to 5. So now we've got the center, which is hk, -1, 3. And we know the radius is 5. So now we can graph this. So you want to go to the radius of, the center, -1, 3. So go back 1 and up 3. And notice that each one of these are in units of 2. So we're going back 1/2 and up 1/2. So right there is our center. And we've got a radius of 5. So you're going to go out 5 units. And be sure to mark that, and be sure to mark your points too, just like this, and draw your circle. And that's how you do this. And so now we're going to work 17, 18, and 19. And notice that 17 is started for you. So on 17, they say use the center and the radius to graph each circle. And for 17, they give us x plus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared equal 16. So we already know that that's 4 squared. So r is equal to 4. We know that's going to be an x minus -3 squared. So our h is equal to -3, and our k is a +3, right? Because that's our k. So now that we have these, we can plot. The center is at -3, 3, and we've got a radius of 4. So we're going to go back 3, up 3. So there it is. And we've got a radius of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would come out to about there. Okay, and there it is. Now be sure that you note your points. -3, 3 for my center. And I'm going to note my radius of 4. Okay, so there's that one. Now, work 18 and 19. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and then we're going to do a quick quiz, and that will conclude this lesson, and we'll turn everything in. So work problems 18 and 19 now. One more minute. Okay. So this concludes our lesson. Now we're going to do a quiz. Okay, here is your lesson quiz, and I would like for you to work this at the bottom of the back page under where it says 24. So divide that into two pieces like this. We've got like a 24 down here at the very bottom of the paper. Divide it in half, and I want you to work 1 over here and 2 over here. Okay, so just do them at the bottom of that paper. And you're welcome to use your calculator and do these 2 at the bottom of the page, and you will turn this in at the end of the hour. Please pass them forward. Do not drop them in the purple box. Okay, pass them forward so they stay in alphabetical order, and then pass them down to the front of the rows, and then the first person in the first row, please give the stack to the sub at the end of the hour. Thank you very much, and this concludes this lesson. Thank you.